Meanwhile, there is an ambitious new contender in the space race. Just a short time ago, China successfully soft-landed a probe on the moon. This is the first lunar landing in nearly 4 decades and puts China in elite company. Only the U.S. and the former Soviet Union have accomplished such a feat. The lander is carrying a 6-wheeled moon rover called Jade Rabbit that will separate from the lander later today and roll off to explore for 3 months. As the U.S. scales back on space exploration, should we worry about China pulling ahead? Former astronaut Tom Jones joins us on the phone with some reaction. Tom, great to have you here today.
Hello, Uma. Nice to talk to you.
What's your reaction to the news that China is joining the elite group of those who've landed on the moon?
Well, I think it's great that the Chinese are exploring the moon and showing continued interest there. I hope it'll revive some interest here and also exploring and following up on the Apollo astronauts' discoveries from 40 years ago. This is the first vehicle that's landed on the moon since the late 1970s, and I think it should wake us up a little bit. There are some resources there, water most important, that we could make use of on the moon, and that might help us lower the cost of exploring space overall.
Well, it is interesting news, of course, that China is accomplishing such a great feat like this. But psychologically, do you think folks at NASA are wincing a bit knowing that we have not had any space exploration on the moon in more than 40 years?
Well, I think we should be waking up to this and paying attention. The Obama administration canceled our plans to return to the moon in this decade about 5 years ago. And so since then we've been doing orbital missions around the moon, but no plans to go back to the surface. And perhaps the Chinese interest is an indication that this might be a competitive arena where we might be paying more attention to this. If we can't simply duplicate what the Chinese have done now, even though we could do it 40 years ago, it really means that the Chinese have taken over the technical lead in planetary exploration here. And I think we would be wise to follow up with our space station partners, for example, and perhaps put down a consortium that could duplicate this feat and follow up on what the Chinese are doing.
Tom Jones, great to have you here with your thoughts on what is obviously a big day for China.
Thank you.